Would you say she has been instrumental in you and I redefining our relationship?
I would say don't just start filming me without asking me.
Oh my goodness.
If you could film me.
Astaire, come help us again, please. I'm still dealing with foolishness.
Don't. No, because she don't just.
Will, my God, let's talk about it. What does Jada Pinkett have over him that makes him stay for the abuse? For the past years, she has been publicly embarrassing Will through some type of public humiliation. Is this all recent behaviors, or is this old repeated patterns we dismissed? Cursing him in front of people. Listen, creating boundaries is very important, as you never want the other person to go too far, and the best way is to nip it in the butt right when it happens. But I think this was Jada's way of slowly inserting her dominance, testing waters. This incident was before they got married, but both of them were among their friends playing games, and something happened between them that caused Jada to yell, "Will you shut the F up?" Uh-oh. Will would go on to hit her on the head with the newspaper and told her, "Let's go talk in a room." He would break it down to her that they should never speak to each other that way and that it leads to domestic violence, and he doesn't want that.
There was a moment that launched our communication. Before we got married, we were having the party at the house. Remember that? We were playing Pictionary, 20 people around the table.
Yes.
And Trey is sitting on my lap. He's like he's like, T might be just about 2. In some order, she cursed at me in front of 20 people at this party. She's like, "Will, would you shut the up?"
Ooh.
With Trey sitting on my lap.
I remember that.
Right? And I grabbed a newspaper and I said, "Bah! Can I talk to you in the other room, please?"
And I was like,
Right.
This joker just hit me on my head with a newspaper? Like I'm a dog?
We went in the other room and I said, "Jada, this is the deal. I grew up in a household where I watched my father punch my mother in the face.
Damn.
And I will not create a house, a space, an interaction with a person where there's profanity and violence. If you have to talk to me like that, we can't be together.
Wow.
We're not going to use any profanity in our interactions. We're not going to raise our voice. We're not going to be violent. I can't do it."
Yeah.
She was like, "You're not going to be hitting me in my head."
Some are saying what he did was domestic abuse, as he bopped her on the head with the newspaper. Whatever you may think of it, the point was no disrespect like this will be tolerated, and she agreed. Jada didn't want to marry Will. This should have been a big red flag from the jump. Like they say, it's better for a man to love a woman more than she loves him. But in this case, it all seems to be working backwards. In this clip, Jada explains that she never wanted to be married and never wanted a wedding. She says she just wanted it to be the two of them on a mountain alone. Huh? Whatever. Basically, her mom was the one to push her to marry Will. Moms knew what she was doing when she saw that Will Smith wanted to marry her daughter. Of course she's gonna want that, and encouraged Jada to do so. Jada was even crying before walking down the aisle the day of her wedding.
I really didn't want to get married, but...
We only got married because Gammy was crying.
Well, Gammy, this is what happened. It was almost as if Gammy was like, "You have to get married, so let's talk about the wedding." I was like, I never wanted to be married.
I don't remember that. I remember feeling very strongly and wanting you guys to be married. I do remember that.
Yes.
But I don't remember your rejection of the idea of marriage. I remember the rejection of the idea of a wedding.
I didn't want a
But
wedding
not
either.
She didn't want it,
I was
yeah.
like, I don't want to get married, and now Gammy done gone to Will crying about, I don't want to have a wedding, and now I'm being forced to have a wedding, when really I just wanted it to be the two of us on a mountain, because I was like, this is serious business.
Yeah, wedding was horrible.
It was a horrible wedding.
It was a mess. Jada was sick. She was very unpleasant. Wouldn't cope. But she was sick. She didn't cooperate with
We were 6 months
anything.
pregnant.
Not sure to blame it on her being pregnant and sick for the crime, cause I truly feel she already felt this way. Maybe she was right, Will should have never married her. The letter to Tupac. What? Man, how is their daughter writing a letter to a dead man she never knew about? And I blame the mother, cause you can tell she has been talking to her daughter in private about her love for Tupac. But it's the nerve and audacity of his own daughter going out the way to wish a dead man to come back and make their mom happy. What a slap in the face to Will. She was 11 at the time she wrote it, so she was old enough to understand feelings. But does she get a pass? Willow writes, "Dear Tupac, I know you are alive someplace. I think that my mommy really misses you. Can you please come back? Can you come back so mommy and me can be happy? I wish you were here, I really do. Love, Willow." What? Come back so mommy and me can be happy? Shorty, you weren't even alive or a fetus. What you talking about make me happy? How much grief did Jada cry to her daughter to talk like this? You have a whole living father who has done the best for y'all. Ungrateful, yo. Go let Tupac adopt you then. Being recorded. In this clip, Jada appears to just hit record and ask Will a question so she can use it for her own means. And you can see Will visibly upset at her asking him about, I assume a counselor, that if the person was able to help them. He then says to her, "Don't start filming me without asking me." And she says, "Oh my God." It's like, girl, I'm the one being annoyed on camera, not you. She then turns the camera back to her face saying, "See, I'm still dealing with the foolishness." She got the nerves, yo. And from this interaction, I can tell she has done this many times. Will lets her know that his social media is his bread and butter and that she shouldn't use him for clout and start filming. AKA, don't try to use me for a viral moment for your game. I don't want to participate with you. Poor Will, just getting abused by this little monster.
You know Esther Perel is coming to the table. She's going to be at the red table. Would you say she has been instrumental in you and I redefining our relationship?
I would say don't just start filming me without asking me
Oh my goodness.
if you could film me.
Esther, come help us again, please. I'm still dealing with foolishness.
Cause she don't just.
Would you say that she helped us heal the hurts that we caused between one another?
My social media presence is my bread and butter, okay? So you can't just use me for social media and not, don't just start roll. I'm standing in my house. Don't just start rolling.
Please watch us stare at the red table because she's helped us a lot. Can't you tell?
Her 40th birthday party. For Jada's 40th birthday, Will had a plan to throw her a big party to celebrate another milestone. And to be honest, he looks like the kind of guy to want to go all out for his significant other. Well, not everyone is into big parties and surprises, even though it took him 3 years putting it together. Jada said it was Will's most ridiculous display of his ego. Will had went all out by putting this together, from voice notes from her late grandma, from having Mary J. Blige perform for her, and had big plans for her the next day. But she yelled at him saying, "It's my birthday." Will would go on to explain how this moment was a low point in his life, and that he was crushed by this because he says it's true what she said about him and his ego. Things was never the same, as this was just another brick towards their marriage.
Her 40th birthday was gonna be my thing.
It was gonna be a splash.
It was gonna be a splash. Mary J.
Definitely was a
Blige.
splash.
Mary J. Blige performed. I debuted the film, all of that. It was gonna be the thing that lifted her out of this midlife crisis, and it was gonna be my deepest, most beautiful proclamation of love, and we did it. And I had found tapes of Jada's grandmother, and her grandmother had recorded these voice messages over the last 8 months of her life.
Wow.
And it was tapes that Jada had never heard.
Wow.
So Jada had to sit there and listen. I understand thoroughly now. At the time I didn't. But she's listening to these never before heard tapes of one of the dearest people she's ever known in her life in front of all of these people. So she's holding it together, she's getting it together. Then I have Mary J. Blige performing. The whole time I'm like, the little boy that wants mommy to say everything was wonderful, right? And she's having a really difficult emotional time. And then when we got back to the room, it was me, you, and mommy, and we were talking about the next day, and there were things planned for the next day, and she said, I'm not sure I want to do anything the next day.
I just wanted to have intimate time.
Just intimate time, and I was like, well, I'll cancel tomorrow. She was like, it's my birthday, right? And she's told me that the party was the most ridiculous display of my ego.
August Alsina, the infamous entanglement moment. If it wasn't for August running his mouth to Angela Yee, we would have never known about the situation. So Jada is still to blame because she couldn't control her side piece, and we wonder why. Well, for starters, August is her son's Jaden's friend, and she is 21 years older than him. And what makes it worse is that August was going through depression at the time and needed help or someone to talk to. Well, she did more than just talking, as she was smashing him at the same time. People started calling her a predator and was saying she targeted someone who was already down and vulnerable who needed help. Not sure what was said while they were pillow talking, but he was under the assumption they would be together and was heartbroken when it didn't happen. Probably why he ran his mouth. She let it be known that it was only a fling, but that's what she gets for messing with her son's friend. He blew y'all spot up. Y'all deserve it. The unraveling of the Smiths is to be continued, cause you know damn well in a month or two, she gonna have something new to say, like always. As Will Smith will continue to take the abuse and look more simpish every day. This is not the Mike Lowry I know. This is giving more Russell Wilson vibes. But let's keep watching the abuse. It is what it is, man. It's your boy Top from Top This Hip Hop, and I'm out. Thanks for watching.